my tin of Charing Cross has been down here in the garage in the sub-zero temperatures of the frozen north here, North Carolina, and it's either dried out so much that it's crispy or it's frozen. I'm not sure. We're gonna find out though. We'll see. Can we light this tobacco? I mean, we could probably still light it even if it were frozen, right? It just wouldn't smoke very well. I think it's just dry. It's Saturday. I'm pre-recording the Sunday Antisocial Hour. Thank you for tuning in. This is the time each week when I smoke my pipe and complain about humanity while answering all of its questions. And I see that Martin over at Over a Pipe, he did his Let Her Rip Friday thing last night. This is my main competition in the YTPC. That's how I view it. This is, it's like the prime time wars here. But his Let Her Rip Friday was called Socially Pooped Edition. I don't know if that's sanitary. There's a pandemic on. I don't know if we should be pooping socially. Apparently, I misspoke last week and said something about the three branches of government that was wrong. I had a lapse, as Secretary Clinton would say, and let's see. Everybody commented on it, starting with Dan Marino. Why are you confused about the three branches of the federal government outlined in the Constitution? I must have said something about how the Democrats now control it two houses of Congress and the presidency, and use the phrase three branches. Again, I'm not going to go back and find the mistake. I don't have that kind of time because I'm bringing you fresh content this Sunday morning, and this is the time when, if you would like to ask me a question, I will answer any question as long as I don't want to. And the hashtag to use is AskMax. Put it down in the comments below. And if you're just tuning in, I'll go ahead and answer this question to give you a sneak peek of the quality you can enjoy on this channel. B-Ball asks Max, squeeze it? Squeeze it. So Dan Marino's question about the three branches of government, I think I've answered that. I don't know. If I said something else, it would not surprise me, given the internal state of my cognition right now, that I nothing would surprise me. I could have been like the five branches, the 12 tribes of the U.S. government, whatever. Dan also asks, how would you spend the perfect day if you could do anything you wanted for 24 hours? I mean, I think you have to. This is such an open-ended thing, right? But I would say, I don't know, like, I'm not going to break it down by hour, because then I would, how much time do you want to spend doing what, but it would have to include paintball with my buddies, back when I had buddies, quality time with my wife and son, and fishing. That's, what else is there really? But see, then you got to stop and eat. So you could get real specific and say, well, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat for breakfast? I mean, I picture getting up at 6 a.m, because if this is an imaginary day, of course I actually got sleep the night before. I probably got exercise the day before and like ate well. So I'm not even feeling bad. That would definitely be in the realm of fantasy. And I think the paintball should be first thing in the morning. And the idea, as long as this is the only thing I would do if I won the lottery, the only thing frivolous that I would do. I would mostly just do stuff like put the money in the bank and not really worry about working anymore. But I would build a paintball arena for me and my buds. I would hire some buds. I would have to go out and buy some friends, and then I would build a paintball arena, outfit us all with top paintball gear. And I would have those fancy speakers that look like rocks, I would have those strategically placed throughout the arena, and I'd be piping in Metallica the whole time. And that's what I would do it would be like, wake up at 6, eat breakfast, 7 o'clock, you're playing paintball, you just play on through noon, then you eat lunch, then you go fishing the rest of the day. And I guess my wife and kid can just come fishing with me or something like that. Anyway, moving on. Howard asked Max, if Uncle Donald had been a pipe smoker, would you have treated him any better? I think I know the answer. You may be surprised. Number one, I would say no, because I don't like traitors. Number two, I would say yes, because in all the time that I spent at my local brick and mortar smoking a pipe, I never saw a big knockdown, drag out fight. Nobody got really heat. Now there was definitely drama, but it was very polite drama, you know. And some people got mad and never came back, that sort of thing. But it wasn't usually over political issues. It was like somebody didn't pay up on their half of a box of cigars or something like that, and it turned into a thing. Um, so I think that number one, Donald Trump would never be a pipe smoker because narcissism doesn't lend itself to that kind of contemplative, meditative activity. And like, also there's the whole like conversation part of it that if you're in a social group, you have to actually talk to people, and nobody wants to talk to a narcissist for very long. But let's just again, fantasy land. After I've played paintball and like had quality time with my family, that evening I go down to the brick and mortar because in fantasy land there's no pandemic, and hang out, and Donald Trump is there. I if he weren't the president, I would be fine with Donald Trump. Like I would, okay, man, like you want to build a wall, dude, whatever, cool. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. It's when you give crazy people power, that's where they get into these situations where they become danger to themselves and others, and that would be my main issue. So if he's just some dude in the pipe shop, yeah, fine. Now if he is the president and a pipe smoker, if he is who he is, and just add pipe smoking, I would still have a problem with him. 2 a.m. pipe on the patio says, "You'll be so glad you went with the electronic kit for my kid for Christmas. Electronic drum kit." Yes, we are already so glad. And he likes it and he plays it, but he keeps going back to the keyboard. And I think honestly, there's probably less coordination involved in the keyboard. So, watching him learn music is, well, incredibly frustrating, but also very interesting because, like, for example, for his school, he has perfect pitch, by the way. So you can imagine how hard it is living with me. So for his school, he had this assignment to learn the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, the two degrees of the scale or whatever, and there was this song, and it was like, can you pick these 2 degrees out of the song, these 2 scale degrees? And so my job is to take a video of him doing this that when we send to his teacher, and he just played the whole song. I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, what? Do you know what I would have done for a fifth of your talent when I was a kid? Meanwhile, I'm still hacking away playing the same song fragments that I have been playing since I was a kid on my guitar. Anyway. So I think that the fact that he can like express himself more fully by doing this on the keyboard is good for him right now because it's hard. The drums require so much coordination that he just doesn't have. And apparently neither do I because I can't stop the phone from recording. More from Howard. He says he's been listening to Glenn Beck since he was as anti-Trump as Pelosi the impeacher. Isn't that weird? Still do, along with Rush, NPR, and the BBC. Sunday Anti-Social is sort of an NPR light. What's this? Oh, it's the point of the knife you just stabbed in my back. Here's my theory on this. Here's my theory. It was all bullshit all the time. We just didn't know it. Like, NPR was sort of the first outlet that I tagged as like, okay, this is basically just propaganda. And not to say that my channel isn't basically just propaganda. I mean, come on. But in NPR, like, I was like, okay, this is propaganda, like masquerading as some kind of non-biased, government-funded whatever, blah, blah. But that was because I was on the right when I was that age. And I think that, I mean, obviously I knew Fox News was biased as well. I have never been a Fox News watcher. Anyway, I guess the point I'm trying to make is all of these outlets have sucked all this time. We're just now starting to realize that the ones we like suck too. you know? And I listen to more NPR. Well, I don't anymore, but when I was driving my kid to school, it was the only thing I could get on the radio. And I would listen to NPR in the morning and like find it much less objectionable than I did when I was in my 20s. Although still really, really just cringingly biased. I don't know. Howard, you're not going to like what I'm going to say, but Rush has really done a good job of destroying a wonderful legacy. And you know, I say that because of the recent stuff, you know, the Trump era, but also even previous to that, he was sort of, I think he was sort of losing. Well, okay, my hope is that he knew he was losing market share to things like The Daily Show, and so he became a little more controversial to sort of swing that back, and that's why he made some of the really kind of just low class mistakes that he made. The Sandra Fluck thing, I'm thinking Fluck, whatever her name was. You know, maybe that was a calculated thing. Maybe he just slipped up. Maybe he really is a terrible person. I don't know. But I always thought a little more of Rush than I think of him now. So Howard also asked about my Nerf gun idea from the last episode. He had asked a question about gun buybacks and Nerf guns, and now he says I misunderstood the innuendo. Is this another probing joke? Timber Drifter asks, Max, what in hell are you blathering about? Man, I don't know. That was a week ago. I don't remember. Nick Majeski asks, Dostoevsky or Tolstoy? I'm going to go with Tolstoy. Buzz Lightyear is one of my favorite Pixar characters, and the sequel was good too. Rule of thirds or golden section? I'm not sure what the golden section is. Do you mean the golden ratio, the Fibonacci thing? I'm going to go with the golden ratio because the rule of thirds is really not that great a rule. Like, maybe it is. Maybe it helps a lot of people out. But for me, it's always just been like, oh, there's a rule of thirds photo. Like, great, cool. You read that one page in the photo textbook. Sensing or intuition? Both. I think intuition is based on sensing. Intuition is pattern recognition, right? So you sense something and then you like compile that and you analyze it and you say, something's not right there, or something is right there, or whatever. It's a hunch. A hunch is informed by, you know, in the like the police movies, no one ever has a hunch like in the beginning of the movie, right? When nothing has happened. You got to wait for things to happen. You have to sense things to develop your hunch. Or I think it's like a natural spine problem. Front Porch Piper is piling on the rest of the dog pile here, making fun of me for not knowing the three branches. I know the three branches of government, y'all. I misspoke. It wasn't that I don't know. Look, I took high school civics. High school was only like 25 years ago. So you guys read the story about the MyPillow guy coming out of the White House with notes about martial law? That's the most 2020 thing that's ever happened, and it's 2021. So, yeah, not sure how that works out. Also, reading this thing in Vox about the new variants of the virus are 50 to 70% more transmissible. Masks don't work, or cloth masks don't work. Yada, yada, yada. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious why this stuff is news sometimes. Like the thing about the Trump admin lied about the Federal Reserve of vaccines. Of course they did. How could they have produced a Federal Reserve of vaccines in like 2 months? Why would you have any in reserve when you're trying to get it out to the frontline healthcare, well, blah, 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 essential people? What? Of course they I don't know. I guess I'm just cynical enough that I'm like, yeah, well, what did you expect? So anyway, what do you think is going to happen? We're here. This is the last antisocial before the peaceful transfer of power to the next administration. Which I don't think is. I mean, I think the next administration will happen. I don't think it's going to be that peaceful. I think we're kind of gearing up for some rocking and rolling. Yeah, I mean, what a time! What I'm pre-recording this on Saturday. By tomorrow morning, the world might look entirely different. So that's going to be interesting. And then I'll have to make a whole nother video. Basically, this was all just a conspiracy to make me work harder on my YouTube channel. And that brings to a close today's rather short antisocial. We didn't have a lot of questions, I'm assumed, because a lot of my subscribers are on the run after, photos of them in the Capitol leaked. Just released a video yesterday of shooting the year's first photos. There was some heavy fail in that one. There's going to be even heavier fail coming up in the next one, which is already all put together except for the music. So I want you to tell me, after you watch the last video, do you think the music was too much? Was it not enough? Am I doing this correctly? I have no idea what I'm doing. Never had a single second of instruction in terms of video production. I just found some royalty-free music and put it in the video. I guess it sounds all right. Let me know what you think of that. And we got another one coming up, and then I might actually have some different content. We still got to do the pipe video, and I've been playing so much guitar and actually recording some, so I might release some B-sides or something like that. We might do that. It's just for something fun. Stay safe till we see each other again. And thank you for watching, as always. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.